Hey guys, we're back at it with another episode. We're doing RAV4 Door Skins. These are the front doors. We're gonna go over our recommended prep procedure, cleaning, and then installation, and then post installation. So I have my materials here. Geon, prep, glass cleaner, alcohol, protein shake. This one's just for drinking though. What we're gonna start with, some glass cleaner, some alcohol, then we're gonna do some prep. We've noticed this stuff helps just degrease everything really well. So as we install the door skins and do the prep, just make sure that if you have done a ceramic coating or a wax or anything like that, there is a chance that these things will not stick unless you remove everything that would prevent them from sticking. We're gonna start with this stuff. Oh, smells like a Jolly Rancher. I wanna eat it. Got all the prep work for the Geon done. Change out our rag. I'm gonna do some alcohol. Kind of just soak my rag. Go through, give it one last good wipe down, make sure there's no contaminants. Just a reminder, we do not make parts, or we do not recommend installing any vinyl on like pleather parts or fake leather parts. So nothing will be going here, but we will make parts for these two. Coming down in the full lower portion, this section, the silver part, and this portion here. So now that we got all of our prep work done, make sure all of it's dry. Now you're gonna need your heat gun. I try to make these videos as consumer friendly as possible. This is a $30 heat gun from Harbor Freight, which you will need to post heat all the door skins to make sure that the edges are all down properly, that everything's sticking as it should. 30 bucks, worth every penny. Now that we have everything prepped, you'll wanna go through and just make sure everything looks pretty dang clean. If you have a dirtier door panel, I would recommend using like a sponge or like a scrubby to kind of go through and scrub off all the dirt. Their door panel was pretty dang clean. Okay, now we're gonna start from the bottom and we're gonna work our way up. This is kind of the basis of how you format everything. And I actually think on the front one, we're actually gonna start on this one because this line will be our starting point. We're gonna start with piece number 10. You're gonna bring it out here over to the edge. Bring it all the way up to where it's almost touching, then bring it down just slightly. And that's where we're gonna start. Got a little squeegee. You don't need a squeegee because you can technically just do this with your hands, but just for speed, you're basically gonna work your way all the way down, kind of going back and forth, squeegeeing out all of the air. Okay, now we're gonna do the bottom part. Okay, now for the bottom part, the most important part of this is making sure that this lines up as it should around the speaker. Okay, once that's lined up, then you're gonna take this, pull this flat straight like that there. Pull all this down. Okay. Pull this back just a little bit. Go. What I've seen a few people do online that I really like is that they will cut out each one of these pieces and fit them to where they like it best. And then from there, they will peel off the backing, stick it, and lay the rest of it. I like that way too. That's also a way that you can install these things efficiently. Another question I get asked is if I place it in the wrong spot, how many times can I peel it off and re-stick it? I don't necessarily recommend taking it off, but if it's absolutely needed, then you just have to. And you can probably do that once or twice, as long as it's not post heated. And once you post heat it and like really press it into the textured surface, they're not gonna stick as well. But if it's just laid in like this, I haven't used any heat, you can technically go back. It's still gonna be as sticky. And stick it where you want it. Okay, now that I've done those two pieces, we're just gonna post heat them real quick. Your goal is to see some sort of texture that you feel here through the vinyl. It won't come through a ton, but it'll come through just enough to where if you can see it, that means that the adhesive has stuck and grabbed into the textured surface. Now let's do this piece in here. This one, you're gonna wanna leave about a 1/16 of a gap along the bottom here. Then you'll see that the pattern flows, and then this piece right here, you can pull down and then press into that spot. Then we'll grab our heat gun. Great. That's the big piece. Then you just line up your next piece, pull this up to the top here, and literally you'll want to basically make a line right here so you can push everything this way down, push everything that way up, kind of like that. So that side's all done. Then this way you'll want to squeegee, kind of hold it out, might make it a little easier. Then I'll pull it just a tad. Then this portion, we should just be able to squeegee down. Feed this into its little nook there. We'll squeegee that part down, and then this part into there. This piece is up on the platform. This portion right here, you want to post heat pretty well because there is so much curvature here. There is a possibility if this starts to lift that you might have to trim that off so it's not on such a sharp lip. And then all these relief cuts are to prevent the vinyl from shrinking and wanting to come off of the surface. That's why we added this odd shape, is because this curvature was just too much as a single piece. Push it down in the middle first. And then I'm actually gonna, before I press the entire thing down, I pressed half of it. Then what I'm gonna do with this second half, I heated it up prior so that it can't shrink anymore. I'm gonna shrink it as small as it can shrink. Because that's vinyl's worst enemy, is it has the capability to shrink. So if you apply something and heat comes, it's gonna wanna shrink. So if you shrink it prior to installing a curved area, it can't shrink anymore, thus it will stay on. Done. Let's do this piece. Okay, you can see there that I kind of pulled it as I went just to make sure to ride that edge. And then what you'll do is you lift the bottom section of it, you'll pull it down. Then once you pull it down, you can kind of squeegee it out. just like that. Then same thing here. Got the top nailed down. Pull this flat. Boom. This starts coming up here. I maybe could have shifted it that way another quarter of maybe an eighth of an inch. You can follow this curvature here. It follows this body line almost, this handle line almost perfectly, where you would hold on to. So I followed it. Looks like I could have brought it in maybe just a little bit, but it still fits within its parameters and looks great. It also lines up with what is beneath it. If this piece comes up and over because it's been stretched slightly, you can also trim it back. So let's say I did do that. What you want to do is have a little razor blade. You'll want to get a little piece like this, tuck it behind it. Just like that. Trimmed. This right here is probably going to be the most challenging piece. So I'm going to walk through this one pretty slow because you're going to have to reposition it maybe a few times. So this portion is going to come all the way up into here. Get tucked in nice and close to this body line up here. Like that. Back and forth a few times. Then, like I said, you're going to want to heat this so it is pre-shrunk. Then don't touch it. Let it cool. Then we take this portion off, reset it, run this line up along here. I'm pulling down and pulling straight, just slightly, to hit those kind of metrics of where I want this vinyl to end up. And now that I've done that, now we can start squeegeeing down into here. So I'm going to tack that. Then I'm going to come here. Like that. That looks good. And this, release that. And then we're going to want to feed everything kind of into this little tunnel. Press that down. This is a tricky piece. If you're finding too much tension in one spot or another, you can make a relief cut, trim it. This is vinyl, it's a sticker. So if you are having trouble, you can also cut it right there yourself and install it in two pieces. Either way, I think this one turned out really, really nice. Good. Okay, now we're gonna install these two pieces over here. This piece, just kind of line it up with the body line of the door, like that. I just use my finger to kind of press everything down. This part goes underneath, which will finish that. Now, if your main concern is just everything lining up perfectly, which more than likely it won't. These are never going to be perfect. Then you can bring it that way, curve it under. You're putting a two-dimensional topo design on a three-dimensional object that just moves and curves. It's impossible to make it perfect, but we get it as close as we can. So now you can see that those lines all kind of flow into each other. And then our last three pieces, I think, are going to be this one, and this one. I forgot this piece, of course. Feed that through. That piece fits like really well right there. Everything flows really well. You can see this design passes through to there. It's as good as it gets. This piece is gonna sneak in right here. And this piece press all that in, and then you have a little piece that kind of curves over the edge that can be pressed down once the main body is down. Okay, our last piece is up top. What you're gonna want to base this all off of is coming off of this over here. And maybe I'm gonna install it this way first. Up against this top here, leave about a 1/16 of an inch of a gap. Length is perfect. Oh. Okay. That. What we'll do here is we'll pull this flat, smash that down. Yep, that's how I would recommend doing it. Lining it up along the top with a 1/16 of an inch and then folding everything over. I maybe could have moved it that way. I don't know, a 1/16 maybe? What's interesting is everything from here flows super good. Due to this section being a popped out section, you can see that's off just by about 1/2 inch there. But then everything else flows super well together over on this side. Looks great. So let's post heat it. Nice. Kind of looks cool, huh?
Fire, dude.
Okay. Okay guys, so this concludes our RAV4 front door skin install. This is our LOT scheme from the lady-owned Toyotas that we make colors for to support those gals in that group. We also have a color matched version to this like grayish tan that they offer, like a taupe, where these pieces are taupe, you get a silver piece and the rest is black. We also have just all black. We got lots of different color options from simple to designed like this. So if you guys have any recommendations, we also have a custom option. So if you run your business out of your RAV4, we can throw a business logo right here or something. So if you have any questions, leave them down below or shoot us an email at support@tacovinyl.com. Please subscribe, helps us create more install videos for our products and support you guys on all mediums of social media. Don't forget to like the video, guys, and we'll see you guys on the next install video.
Bye.